Hi, everyone. I'm Steve here with Pastor Victor Brote. Thanks for being with us, Pastor.
So glad to be here.
We're going to talk about money like we sometimes do, like we do most of the time. And what's our motive, when we're giving or lending? This is really helps if you meditate on this to check what your motive is. So what verse do you have?
I'm going to look at Luke 6:35 through 36, 6:35 of Luke. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Sometimes these scriptures, it like grabs you by the throat and it challenges you. It does. This whole chapter 6 has just done that to me this week. I have walked as a Christian for many decades now and studied real, and it still just almost shocks me. Doesn't it just, God is so radical. Jesus, these words are so strong. And, if we don't come back to his word and read it every so often or quite regularly, it's like that passes from us, this radical demand that God has for us to bless others, to love each other so deeply that you forget about your money. In this society, that's a hard thing.
That is, and that really hits home, and it makes you really think about your heart and what we're supposed to do. But let me ask you a very hard question that you probably aren't ready for. And that is there a line here? Do we draw the line somewhere to stand up to the bully sometimes, someone who's doing this? And then what about the person that's harming the widow or children and taking advantage of them? Do we just always just lend and give and just no consequences?
Well, it's hard to imagine, supporting those who do evil, but I don't think the text is talking specifically about that. I think it's that what Jesus is those who need to borrow, those who are poor, those are just at wit's end, and in that kind of case, Jesus fought against evil. Every day he fought against evil, and we're not to support that. And yet we get selfish. We get thinking about just our little thing. And this is where the radical comes in. We let go of our little thing and step beyond the comfort zone. And the text says, then your reward will be great. If you go in a different mode, is what this is. Yeah. And it's it's loving to those of the needs that are around us.
That's a good clarification, because just because you don't like someone, because it says lend to your enemies, just because you don't like someone does not mean that they're not worthy of God's love and your help.
Yes.
So I think that kind of segregates out are we supposed to enable someone who's just taking advantage? No.
Right.
But when it says enemy, it kind of speaks to me that, hey, just because I don't like them or I don't think they're worthy, that doesn't mean they're not. And I'm supposed to still love them, and even if it's financially, bless them and help them, right?
Yeah, I think it's in the context of those you can actually reach out to with, and in today, I think it's even at church. Christians, it's even at church that you treat.
There's a lot of people at church you don't like.
That
there's people at church that are absolutely obnoxious.
They rub you the wrong way, but you love them.
Yeah.
Make a choice.
I might be one of them. All right. Well,
all right.
As always, Pastor, thanks for your input and your insight on that. We'll talk to you next time.
All right. Great.